Hi, welcome to Self-Care Sunday. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite tools for increasing motivation, the cost-benefit analysis. So this is a tool that I use on a regular basis when I need a little bit of extra energy to either get up and get something going, or maybe when there's a daily practice that I know is healthy for me, I know it's good, like cleaning fruits and vegetables and keeping them cooked on a regular basis. And sometimes, you just don't feel like doing it and you need that kind of extra motivation to do it. And the biggest one where I think that this comes in handy is if we have a long-term goal. So a long-term goal and we need some immediate reinforcement as to why we should do something in the moment so that we can reach our long-term goal. So what we'll do is take a quick look at an example of the cost-benefit analysis, and then you will be able to download a copy for yourself so that you can use it for any type of activity where you think you need an extra boost of motivation to get going. Alright, as we can see for my cost-benefit analysis in terms of increasing my motivation, the example that I use, and I probably use this tool the most with it, is should I skip the gym? So I know that going to the gym on a regular basis is really good for my health, it's good for my physical health, my emotional health, my mental health. And having said that, there are times where I definitely just don't feel like going. So what I'll do is run through a cost-benefit analysis. And the way we do this is we pick a behavior, and for me, it's skipping the gym. So should I skip the gym? And we move into the very first quadrant is the upper left quadrant, so the short-term good consequences. And the short-term good consequences for not going to the gym are that, yay, I don't have to leave the house, I don't have to fight with traffic, I don't have to deal with the busy change room, I can stay home and get something else done or stay home and be with my family. So those are the really strong things pulling me to want to really skip the gym in the moment. And the short-term good consequences are always about immediate gratification, so it's going to feel good right now. But then I look at the short term, not so good consequences. So if I do decide to skip the gym, I know I won't feel as good as if I don't exercise. My muscles will feel stiff and achy. I won't be able to sleep as well that night. I won't get the good endorphins. I won't be able to dump some of the stress from my day. I will likely be much more irritable and not able to enjoy family time as much. And if I skip the gym, I'm a bit more likely to eat unhealthy, which could lead to a whole other set of consequences. So those are the two really, really short-term consequences, good and not so good, of skipping the gym. Then we move into the long-term consequences on the bottom left-hand side. So the long-term good consequences about skipping the gym would be that I did have a little bit more time with the family and maybe I did get something else done. However, when I move into the long-term not so good consequences, I recognize that the more that I skip the gym, the more I will want to skip the gym. I also know that if I skip it for too long, it will be hard for me to get back into the routine. So for some reason with the gym, it's really easy to slip out of the routine, much more difficult to get back into it. If I don't care for my health, I could end up with an illness or a disease. If I continue to skip the gym, or if I get on that pattern, I won't have as much energy or be able to think as clear. I also know that it's going to impact my mood. So the gym for me is something that really keeps the anxiety down, the stress down. It boosts my happiness. It keeps me kind of stress-free, not irritable. So that's the main reason that I'm going. And it also long-term could impact my finances if I end up getting sick and can't go to work. So the purpose of the cost-benefit analysis is to look at the long-term not so good consequences of giving in to the short-term good consequences. So we have short-term good consequences as immediate gratification, which is where most of us want to live, but we have long-term not so good consequences that show us what will happen if we can't learn to practice a little bit of a delayed gratification. So in terms of using this as a tool, if you have certain activities that tend to be a little bit more difficult to do, once you do this once or twice, you'll have it really in your head well. And so it will be really easy to pull up the next time that you want to give into that behavior that maybe isn't so great in the moment, and you want to really increase your motivation to do it and reach your long-term goal. So I would invite you guys will have a copy of it that you can download, and you can enter in here whatever the behavior is and look at the short-term good consequences, then move over to the short-term not so good consequences. After that, you'll want to move into the long-term, and it's the same behavior here. Long-term good consequences and long-term not so good consequences. So this is something you can download. You can use it for any behavior. You can use it for any type of situation that you're in where you want to increase your motivation in the moment. I hope this is helpful for you, and I would love for you to come on over to charlenerichard.rsw.com and leave a comment. Let me know how it worked for you or didn't work for you, if you're struggling or not. And I'll see you next week.